Hey, happy day 787 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Jam and Grandma, shaking a red drink. Because one of the things I'm doing as I'm thinking about keeping my body and soul together is actually consuming and taking some of the supplements and the vitamins and the stuff that is supposed to be really, really good for me, but I always found a reason or excuse to not take care of myself. Even now, after decades, or a decade for sure, of taking better care of myself than I ever have in my life, I still find myself making excuses for why I don't drink some of these red and green drinks that are really good for me, at least every day. So now, one of the things I'm doing to keep my body and soul together is actually consuming some of these things. Taking and drinking a red drink or a green drink every day, making sure I'm drinking plenty of water, making sure I'm taking care of my body. And what am I talking about, of course, is the COVID-19, the whole virus that's going around in the entire world, and the changes that it is immediately creating in all of our lives. I don't know a single person that has not been impacted by what's going on in the world right now. It's a big hard stop for many of us. A small percentage of the population is a little bit of business as usual. They're continuing to go to work, but even business as usual for them isn't business as usual, because our world is changing at a feverish pace, and it needs to change at a feverish pace. It's been a long time coming, and I think that there's all kinds of things that we'll learn from this situation going forward, both good, bad, and ugly, about ourselves as human beings, ourselves individually and ourselves collectively as a species, and how we deal with challenges and change. Keeping body and soul together was an idiom I talked about today on Supersize Your Business. Of course, it's actually became popular in the 18th century, and it comes out of the experience of people when they lose their money and their possessions. They often also lose their self-respect and their self-esteem. And I think there's a lot of that feeling going on right now. There's a lot of people that there's so much uncertainty, and when we're uncertain, it lowers our confidence. When we're stressed out, it lowers our confidence. When we actually lose our jobs, it lowers our confidence. When we lose our livelihood, it lowers our confidence and our self-esteem and our self-respect. When we're able to, get the things that we need, which is, until a couple of weeks ago, that was a given in America, that there was a way you could always figure it out and you would be able to have the things that you need. I mean, I don't recall any time in history there being a toilet paper shortage or a rush to feel like you were going to be deprived of, the hand protection required to get through our daily functions. So keeping body and soul together, how do you go about that? How are you going about this through this massive time of change, knowing full well that you will be fine, you will be safe, and as long as you take care of yourself and take care of each other and contribute positive to the world, we will all get through this together. We will get through this. Will the world be changed forever? Absolutely, positively. We're not going back to the way we did everything before. Will things go back, and will businesses go back to being in business? Yes. But I would say, if you have a business and you aren't at home, if your business is shut down right now by mandate, if you're not at home thinking about how your business needs to change and be different following this event of shutdown, that's a huge wake-up call, because you now have the time to actually do that. So often, I remember in my businesses, I was always running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and I always had a huge list of things that I wanted to do and I knew I could do to improve and make my business better and to serve people better and to create better products and services. But a lot of times we just went through the daily activities because we didn't have the time to study and do and implement those things. Now is a huge dead stop opportunity to blow everything up and to create exactly what you want. If you happen to have a business where you didn't adore your customers and you're saying, all right, yeah, I could continue to serve them, but I don't really want to serve these people anymore, now is the perfect time to think about how you do want to serve people and how you want your business to be going forward, and to start going out and finding those people. You can find any type of people and any congregation of people that you want online these days. We didn't have that luxury even, even it's just been in my kids' lifetime that this has become available. You know, never in my past when I was learning or studying something, growing up and going to school and college, and even after college for, you know, more years than I want to admit, there was no internet. You couldn't just hop online and ask a question of YouTube or Google and get an answer to anything you want. I swear there is a YouTube video that will show you how to do absolutely almost anything that you want. So, keeping body and soul together, to me, what am I doing and what do I recommend that you do? Number one, take care of your physical health. If you have any type, and if you even suspect that you could have any type of physical underlying issue, you better get really, really vigilant, really, really fast and start taking care of yourself. Meaning, we need to eat right? And I will contend that more than anything, even more than physical exercise, what you put in your body is the biggest contributing factor in what we put in our mind to our level of health. And people will say heredity and exercise and all this other stuff, and I will tell you, based on my experience, I've got a lot of it with respect to health challenges, it's really always been a matter of what I've been consuming and eating, and what I've been feeding my mind as well, because our mind can create all kinds of stuff. So get moving, get some physical activity. You know, go out for a walk. Geez, walk around your house if you don't feel comfortable going anywhere else. Take a walk down the block. Go get the mail. But just get your body moving. If you're inside, guess what? We can do physical exercise inside. It's kind of mucky weather where I'm, and we've had some rain. But when we can get outside, we go for a walk. It was a little freaky yesterday. We went to the park that we usually go to, and all of the playground equipment, my granddaughter's having a sleepover, all the playground equipment was taped off and quarantined and shut down, and has a note on it from the governor saying, you know, this is off limits, basically. I can't remember exactly what it said. I took a picture of it. But basically, due to COVID-19, all of this is immediately shut down. If you're caught on the playground equipment, you better not swing. You better not go on the merry-go-round. And I feel kind of guilty because my granddaughter and I were on that spinny merry-go-round thing just last Friday. But it was really an in-your-face thing with all this, you know, it looked like crime scene tape on everything saying, stay off or you're going to get up to 30 days in jail. And I'm like, I'm not going to jail for my granddaughter to play on some playground equipment. So we'll pass on that. And it'll probably just be, you know, shut down for a couple of weeks, and then, you know, the possibility of there being any COVID ID on the surfaces will be over, and maybe it'll open up again. Don't know. But we can still go for walks. We can still go for runs. If you are a runner, bless you. I do not run. I've got an ICD, so I'm not going to run, but I do like to get outside and walk. So get outside and walk. Do something in your house. You know, I so regret getting rid of my exercise equipment when I moved during this transition period, but you know, you can still do yoga. I love yoga with Adrienne. You can still, you know, it's free. You can go online, watch a YouTube video, and do yoga. You don't need a mat. Put down a couple of blankets if you don't have a yoga mat and you can't find one. You can do sit-ups. You can do calisthenics. My granddaughter said, Grandma, you can just take a couple of soup cans and you can use them as weights. So yeah, the gyms are closed, but that's not any reason to give up on your usual taking care of yourself. Look around your house or your apartment. I'd be willing to bet that there are things that you can do for resistance training or for weight training if you're somebody that normally goes out and goes to the gym and does weight training or lifts weights or something. There is something that we can all do even when we're telling ourselves we can't do it. And that is kind of a wake-up call to ask ourselves how good we are and how flexible we are, and how many excuses we're really making for the things that we say we want but we really don't want to put forth the effort to get them. I, for example, and I'm going to give I just thought of this, I have been wanting to write a book for a while, right? I've got it outlined, it's all ready to go, but I haven't taken the time to sit down and write the book. Well, guess what? Now I've got more time, and I could just spend an hour a day and knock that book out. So by the time we're all freed up and we can go about our merry ways again, my book could be done and ready to go and published. Actually, if I was really smart, I could Kindle self-publish it even while we're still being sequestered, or I like to call it sequestered than quarantined. It just seems a little friendlier. I don't know. They both mean the same thing. Stay at home where you're safer. You know, get 6 feet apart from people. I did get a kick out of, I hadn't been to the stores for a while, and that they've got big X marks in electrical tape at Menards to mark off how far people should stay behind each other in line. I guess if we don't self-regulate, regulations will be created for us. So I think that's part of what we're seeing with the quarantine. But I don't think any of us knew the extent of how much our world was going to have to change in such a short period of time. And it's not going to change forever, but it's changing for right now. So I encourage you to find things that positively keep your mind busy and focused and moving forward, and find positive, creative ways to use this time and think of it as a gift that we've never been given before. And financially, you know, if we've lost our jobs and we're freaking out because we don't know how we're going to pay for things, trust that that will all be taken care of and you will be provided for. Nobody's going to go to debtor's prison. I will contend nobody's going to lose their house over this situation, this out of our control situation. Nobody's going to lose their car. Nobody's going to lose anything. I know I'm really close to some people that are freaking out about, you know, I live pretty much paycheck to paycheck. What am I going to do? I don't have a paycheck. And how am I going to survive? How am I going to get the money for food? I really feel bad about this, but I suspect credit card companies, if we don't do something about them, hint, hint, regulators and government who has protected them forever and kept their interest rates high illegally, some politicians, I suspect that they're the ones just smelling like a rose through all this, because that's how people are going to move forward and survive. And I think it stinks that that's what's going to happen, but I suspect that's what's going to happen. So there are going to be industries that continue to thrive and do better than ever because of this change. So make sure that you and your livelihood and your business will be better because of this change. If you're not using this time to hone your skills, maybe to get a new skill, maybe it's a huge stop that allows you to say, oh my God, I hate being a hairdresser, I hate being an accountant, I hate being a worker in a cubicle and a cog in this huge machine in corporate America or whatever, and now I'm laid off. Now it's my opportunity to really say, what the heck do I want to do? How do I want to be showing up in the world? And then pursuing that, looking into it. Anything you want to learn and know, you can find on the internet today. Just Google it. My kids say, Google that shit, and it's so true. When my granddaughter and I knew that we were going to be spending a lot of time together, we're having a sleepover right now, so I'm trying not to wake her up, but the first thing we did is we started brainstorming a list of all the cool things we could do now that we had so much more time together. And we didn't say, well, we're going to go out and buy all this stuff so that we've got it. We said, what are the cool things we can do with the resources we have around us right now? So we started looking around the house for, you know, the cores to toilet paper, the cores to paper towels, boxes, Kleenex boxes. We saved some of them because we can make them into little banjos and instruments. We started saving, you know, different bottles and containers that we can use for crafts. And we're like, okay, well, this is how much Play-Doh we have, so when are we going to play with Play-Doh? These are the paints we have, so when are we going to play with paints? And we made it a fun game. And then after she went home, what did I do? I hopped on Google and I said, Google, what are some fun things you can do with 4-year-olds? So we have no shortage of cool things that we can do every single day that we're together. So I encourage you to do those type things. Look for ways to make this time a gift to yourself and to your family and those you love and care about. Today is day 3 of the Live Challenge Workshop. I suppose I should talk about what I'm working on. Day 3, Live Challenge Workshop, and it's all about frameworks and foundations of doing a challenge, right? Doing a challenge and how you do that. Not only how you do a challenge for other people, but how you face and do challenges for yourself so that you get the results that you want. So talking all about frameworks today and giving everybody, hey, this is the framework, you know, run your ideas and your information through this, and boom, you've got your own challenge. That will not only help other people get results, but will help you get results as well. Hint, hint, if you are in a business that is shut down right now and you're thinking that there is nothing you can do, hit me up in the comments below, because I guarantee I can think of a challenge that you could offer to the people that you're normally serving right now online, and you could have it up and running in a day. Actually, literally, you could start doing a challenge with them tomorrow. But you got to want to continue to serve them. You have to take a deep breath and say, oh my God, this sucks, but I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to end up better off than when we came into it, because I'm going to use this time to focus taking care of myself, focus getting better as a human being, because our businesses only grow and get better when we grow and get better. Our lives only grow and get better, guess what? When we grow and get better, when we give up the things that no longer serve us and we move toward the things that we're really here to do. So continue to find ways to, take care of yourself, but also to add value and serve other people. Because if all of us just do a little bit to make the world a better place and be kind, guess what? The world will heal quicker than ever, and it will be a better place. So day 3 of the challenge, I have been hanging out with my granddaughter, so I've been just hopping on live at noon Eastern, 11 Central Time, and I feel a little guilty because I thought I would keep it short, but so far both days 1 and 2, day 1 was 44 minutes, and day 2 was broken up into 2 videos, but it ended up being, I think, like 39 minutes too. So apparently all of this downtime has got me thinking more, and I got a lot to say. I've noticed that this video's gotten pretty long over the last week too. It just seems to be growing and growing and growing. Because I want to make sure that you know that this too shall pass. We're all going to be okay. It's really a mess right now, but we'll get through the drama, we'll get through the trauma, we'll get through the change. It's just really interesting what happens when an entire world or nation needs to all change simultaneously. It's actually kind of fascinating. I think it might be kind of a fascinating study to see after, this whole wave of change that's going through our world right now, and the impact it has in the where we come out from a humanity standpoint and historically. I think it's really, really interesting. Okay, it's the nerdy engineer side of me. You have to analyze everything. Fun day challenge today was actually kind of a fun one. We're doing a 365-day challenge to do one fun thing every day. Last year I did do one thing every day that makes you happy. Before that I did one thing every day that stretches your comfort zone or that you're scared of. Do one thing every day that scares you, I think it was. So I like doing challenges. Obviously, this is my 3rd year in a row of doing 365-day challenge. And I do it on Facebook Live because it's super easy. So today was a fun one. It said pick your top 5 outfits. And it was really funny, or share your top 5 outfits. And I think it's funny because I actually added, you can do it before the changes of COVID-19 or right now. What are you doing right now? Like, hey, right now I'm hanging out in my pajamas. Now, dirty little secret, even before the virus, every day for like the last couple of years, I have been hanging out in my robes and pajamas most of the time. And guess what? It's been 100% intentional, because I went from the corporate world and the offline world where you had to go show up and you had to get dressed up and you had to wear suits and you had to wear certain expected uniforms and be a certain way when you showed up in the physical world of business. And I wanted to go, 180 away from that. And some people would say I did more than a 180, but I wanted to take a 180 turn from that. And that's when I started, and really it was because I found out that I realized as I was doing more things online and studying things online, I was hanging out in my robe a lot longer, in my pajamas a lot longer during the day. And so then I just decided, okay, that's kind of my thing, that shows people that one of the advantages and a lot of the advantages of being online is you can do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whomever you want, wearing what you want. And there's a lot of freedom and a lot of fun and excitement in that. So I was actually wearing my same robes and pajamas before the virus, and I will be wearing probably my same robes and pajamas after the virus. Although maybe it will be my time to change and go back to being more professional. Nah, I doubt it. So working on that and having a sleepover with my granddaughter. And that is all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions, if you're like, I am not keeping my body and soul together, I need an idea, hit me up in the comments below. I have run across some amazing resources over the last couple of days just in my journey and in the circle of people that I deal with online. Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins put out a really good free piece. There's a bunch of fun activities and fun things that you can do. There's tons of personal development things and things you can get. Free books, read a free book. There's a lot of people coming out with books that have been in the works for a long time, but now's the perfect time to just say, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to read this book. I've heard about it 12 times before, and I've never had the time to do it. Read the book, right? You can probably still find a copy of the book either online. I say the one thing that I'm not doing, and I noticed even the last couple of days, the last 3 days I have had 0 screen time. I mean not computer, but I mean like Netflix or TV or anything, because I wanted to make sure, and I still want to make sure, that I don't fall into some bad habits of just saying, I'm just going to watch this show and then watch 10 episodes or something. I don't want to do that, because I know it doesn't serve me when there are so many cool things I can be doing with this time. That's it. That's all I've got. If I can help you, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow.